So I've been going through the book of Ecclesiastes on Sunday mornings or every other Sunday morning with the Sunday school class that I help teach. And as I've been going through it, I see kind of a pattern. I see a pattern of Solomon talking about how he's pursued all these things. And the more I start looking at these patterns, uh, the more life kind of seems very depressing. We're talking about a guy who the Lord allowed him to see everything, to know everything, to have everything. And he kept saying that it was all vanity. And the more I started thinking about all these things, I could be wrong, but I feel like Solomon he pursued a very comfortable life. Think about everything he pursued. He pursued knowledge. He had all of the knowledge, and with having all of the knowledge and wisdom in the world, you have the comfort of never being ignorant. You have the comfort of never losing an argument because you know everything, or you have the most wise commentary for every topic. Think about all your possessions. If you have everything, uh, there's an ease of life that is overwhelmingly uh, just trouble free. And I say overwhelmingly because this guy, he said it was vanity. He said I could have all this stuff. I do have all this stuff, and no matter how much I have, it's all in vain. And imagine living a life where your comfort level is so high that you get to a point where you said, I can't even chase anything anymore. I have nothing to shoot for. And what do I do now? And so when we think about comfort and we think about the pursuit of comfort, you kind of have to ask yourself, well, what am I pursuing? I mean, if you're anything like me, it's I wish I had a little bit more money so I didn't have to pay all these bills, or maybe work a job that is less desirable. I mean, I swing shifts for a living. I don't want to swing shifts. I don't like swinging shifts, but I got to provide for my family, and this is the best opportunity I've got right now. And I think through that kind of stuff, and my comfort, my desire for comfort is so high that it puts me in a negative headspace a lot of times. Um, I do this to myself. Like, this was a choice, right? I chose to pursue a certain lifestyle that forces me in a way to do things that I don't want to do for the sake of comfort. Um, and so the question that you kind of have, the question you have to ask yourself is, what level of peace is worth comfort? Like, what is the price you're willing to pay for comfort? I don't, whether it's a monetary price or just a lifestyle choice. Like, what's the price you're willing to pay for comfort? Uh, and the sad part is I think we even take worship, like how we worship, at a certain level of comfort. You know, let's just talk about what we do on Sundays. Like, when we go to church on Sunday, I'm not, maybe I'm not speaking to everybody at all times, but I think there's definitely a level of everyone's comfort at when we go to church in America, that we're so comfortable that we've taken our eyes off of what it's costing us in our worship. You know, if let's just ask it this way. I mean, especially in my context, I live in Kentucky. Kentucky basketball is a huge thing. If I had tickets to the most premier headlining UK basketball game, and it was just so happened to be on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock or even 11 o'clock, or it was even at 12, but I had to be there in order to catch it all. I had to be there early, so I had to miss church. If I had free tickets to go there, would I be so comfortable to just say, church is more of an opportunistic, like, I go every week, like, surely the Lord's not going to be mad with me. Um, and because of his grace, he's not going to be furious. But at the same time, we have to ask ourselves, like, am I so comfortable in my worship that I'm willing to forfeit the gathering and the blessing that I might have, or the encouragement I might get, or the conversations that I might have? Am I willing to forfeit that part of gaining my soul, or having growth in my soul, in my life, for this entertainment? Because, I mean, let's just be honest, entertainment is comfortable. If you can afford to be entertained, that's a pretty comfortable life. And so when we approach church, like, we kind of have to ask ourselves, when it comes to our worship, when it comes to our life in general, what price are we willing to pay in our life and with our souls and in our eternity for comfort? Are we willing to kind of say, maybe I shouldn't pursue Sunday morning with this lackadaisical, just ho hum, like, let me talk about the latest sports thing, let me talk about politics, instead of being intentional and maybe being uncomfortable with, hey, how can I pray for you today? Or, hey, the Lord's really speaking to me in this way. What are your thoughts on that? Or, man, when I was singing this worship song, it really hit me in a way because of what I've been dealing with. And here's all the things I've been dealing with. Are we being comfortable in our worship? And I think when you look at the grand scheme of the book of Ecclesiastes, like, that's the message. The message is that there's no greater pursuit than fearing the Lord and obeying his commands. That's what it says at the end of the book. And when we see that this guy who had everything, who indulged in everything, who had every pleasure possible, every possession he ever wanted, all the knowledge in the world, all the wisdom in the world, and he just says, at the end of the day, we're banking everything on this one tiny verse at the end of the book. After everything I've already said, here's the bulk of it in one phrase. Are you so comfortable? Like, that's the challenge. Are you so comfortable with everything in your life, including your worship, that the thought of being more intentional about just being quiet, and later on, after you've kind of reflected and got your heart right, having some uncomfortable conversations, pursuing relationships that you normally wouldn't have? Maybe you're not a singer. Maybe you're somebody who just kind of stands in the pew and keeps your mouth shut because you don't feel like you have a good singing voice, or you're just not comfortable doing it, or you just kind of lip the words. Maybe it's I think I'm going to actually sing today. Even if I try, I mean, that's a joyful noise to the Lord, right? I don't know. I'm really battling this on a big level, because I look at my home life, like, am I so comfortable at home just scrolling through my phone, or just kind of walking around, just pretending like there's nothing that I could do with my kids or with my wife, or to help any of them out? Am I so comfortable with my disciplinary structure with my kids that I've forgotten the joy that my kids are to me, and that they can be if I just pursue them in a way that shows them that I love them, instead of just like, you need to get your life together, you need to do this and that to have a good life later? Because I'm that guy. I'm the guy that tells his kids, like, man, you've got to prioritize. You've got to have responsibility. You got to show me that you're responsible, because later on, life is not going to be easy. Like, I'm heavy on that stuff, and I'm really light on the let's just hang out. And you would think that the easy route is just the hanging out, but the comfort for me is trying to set my kids up for success, and I think you should do that. But at the same time, like, it's so much easier just to kind of step back and say, what is the price I'm paying for this? What am I doing here that could be so much easier, right? I mean, Christ calls us to come and rest, right? He offers that as a promise. So why are we not just saying, like, my comfort is in Christ. My ultimate peace is not with having all this knowledge that I can have the perfect political argument for everything that you say, or my peace is not in the lavish lifestyle that I live. It's in it's truly in just resting in Christ and saying, man, you got to learn to love. You got to learn to be intentional. But more importantly, you got to worship me that's proper, in a proper way. I mean, we saw how improper worship ended up for Ananias and Sapphira, right? In Acts 5. And we were like, I don't really want that. Like, I don't want to just kind of offer something and not all of it. And then all of a sudden my life is taken from me. Because it could happen. The wages of sin is death, right? And that's what they experience. So at what point do we stop and just kind of reflect, man, maybe I should kind of figure out, is my comfort my God? Is comfort the golden calf of this Americanized Christianity that I've bought into? I think entertainment's okay. I don't think it's a sin to be entertained. I don't think it's a sin to have a good time. But I do think it's sinful if that's your entire life, and if throughout the week you're so entertained that when Sunday morning comes, you treat it as like an option, like going to the movies or going to a basketball game or watching a Bills game. Like, I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Like, if that's where our mind's constantly going towards, what, maybe this. You have a Super Bowl party. It's Super Bowl Sunday's tomorrow. When I post this, it's probably gonna be long gone. But am I so wrapped up in the activities of the evening that I've completely just not even thought about the Sunday morning worship gathering with people that care about me, that care about my soul and my eternity? And I've just completely forgotten about God and how he can edify me and make me more like him. I think those are important questions, and we kind of have to ask ourselves, am I so comfortable that I'm willing to just throw it all away? And that comfort, that's all I want in this life, is just comfort, because comfort is my peace. I hate to say it, but that's not biblical. And I'm speaking to me too. Like, I'm the worst about that kind of stuff. And so I have to ask myself, am I so wrapped up in the things that I want to do that it's costing me my soul? It's costing me real peace in this life. And so that's my challenge to you, is just kind of sit back and evaluate, am I so comfortable that I've not made the main thing anymore? I hope that's helpful to, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And if I am, then just know that I'm a sinner and that this is obviously something that I need to work on, because it runs deep. It runs so deep. But hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that's something for you to think about. Hopefully that causes you to reflect in a way that maybe ask yourself, man, I'm not feeling a lot of peace right now. I'm not feeling a lot of rest. But why is that? I hope that's the question you're asking yourself. Why does my life feel like such a mess and just full of noise? Maybe it's comfort. Maybe you're so comfortable and complacent with how things are that it's disrupting your peace, So I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody, and maybe that's an opportunity. Like, use the comment section in the video. This is how I'm so comfortable that it's causing me to not have this. This area is causing me, I'm so complacent and comfortable with where I'm at right now that it's costing me this. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you take away from that an opportunity to kind of learn more about yourself, to really evaluate who your God really is, and just use it to fuel the love that you have, the joy in your life that is out there, because, man, we got so much to be thankful for. If you're watching this, you've got so much to be thankful for, because you're holding a computer in your hand, you're watching it on a screen in your office or in your family living room or wherever you're watching this. You're so blessed beyond measure that you have the ability to access this type of information or entertainment, I guess. Hopefully it causes you to kind of reevaluate, and it makes it sends you on a trajectory of just saying, man, I could have more. I could be more. I could have more peace. I could have more gratitude. I could have a greater understanding of who I really am and to grow more into the person that I want to be. And hopefully that's Christ. Uh, anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy the Super Bowl, or if I don't post it before Sunday, I hope you did enjoy the Super Bowl and the time you got to spend with people you care about. Just, yeah, have a good day.